Hello everyone, welcome to Single Value. So today we're going to look at a company called Hometown International, and this is a company trading at $98 million and at $12.75 a share. So this company has enormous potential because if it expands by one more store, it can grow by 100%. That's right, it has only one store and it's worth close to $100 million, which is insane. So yeah, we'll look at this article here. That this place that generates $35,000 in sales over 2 years is valued at $100 million or close to that. So yeah, that's pretty crazy, right? How does a deli, this deli here, have a valuation of $100 million? It's rather crazy and no one really can explain it. Hedge fund manager David Einhorn, he looked into it so much that he actually doesn't even know himself, and he just warns that, hey, this potentially is one of those pitfalls where, hey, sometimes you look into companies and they sell at high valuations, and then you wonder, is this really, worth buying? And sometimes it's just staring you in the face. Absolutely no, This is probably the most exaggerated example of something that's just so highly valued. It's staring you in the face that it's a terrible, terrible idea to buy into this. And if you do buy into it, you're probably not going to be happy if things ever fell. The thing is, it's $12.75 a share. So if you brought like a share, then maybe it doesn't seem like a big impact because it's only $12.75 if you buy one share, but you contribute to the fact that it has 100 million valuation, or 98 right now. If we look at the statistics and we look at the volume traded, so on average, over a 3-month period, it trades about 1,600 shares a day. So there is people buying shares. Like, it's around about a $20,000 per day over that 3 months, but still people are still buying these shares, and the biggest question is why are these people buying shares? So it's pretty interesting. They could be buying them just to short them, because in order to basically short a company, you have to have someone that actually owns the shares, and then they're going to lend them out to that person that wants to short it. So yeah, that's how shorting works, and that could be why people are buying into it. So there is some legitimate reasons. There could also be, hey, someone just went to that deli and they had a really good time. So yeah, if you're in the States and you want to go to this $100 million deli, which is, crazy, because it doesn't look like $100 million establishment. The seat certainly does not, but hey, it could just be part of the vibe, the atmosphere, and it says water, refreshing and free. So how does $100 million establishment afford to give free water away? They must be flush of cash, maybe. So it's quite an interesting situation, how you have $100 million deli, yet it doesn't necessarily look like $100 million deli. Those are $100 million sandwiches. That's another $100 million sandwich, $100 million flour, $100 million, it's $100 million of everything, because, just there's really no justification how this is worth $100 million. And if we read this article a bit more, it just gives you a bit more of an idea, that, hey, this company actually reached $113 million in February the 8th, and its largest shareholders are the CEO, CFO, treasurer, and a director, who happens to be a wrestling coach of the high school. The question is, why is he still a wrestling coach at a high school when he owns $100 million, a good portion of $100 million deli? Thing is, if you tried to sell all those shares all at once, you'd probably crash the share price, because there's not really much volume traded. But at the same time, if you slowly sell them, over many years, because again, if this is just trading in tens of thousands every day, trying to get millions of dollars out might take quite a while to do it, but it's doable, of course, and this wrestling coach could be doing that. Which is kind of interesting how they've managed to get to this situation. Yeah, here we go. So they reported more than $600,000 in expenses last year, up from $154,000 in 2019. So they reported a net cash gain of $2.2 million from financing activity. So they managed to sell $2.2 million. Well, actually more than $2.2 million because their net cash gain. So that's actually more. So the first question is, how does this company actually sell stock? Like, and who is buying this stock? Because obviously, if you're buying the stock and giving this company millions of dollars when it owns a Deli, the biggest question is, is this legitimately, a crime syndicate? Are they just laundering money through this place? Because how, no one's rushing to put millions of dollars here. Like, if they were using those millions and millions of dollars right, they'd probably have expanded more places by now, rather than selling $1 hash browns, $4.49 onion rings, $6 hot roast beef rolls, meatball sandwich $6, fries $3.79, whiz fries. Okay, that sounds interesting. What are whiz fries? Mozzarella fries. So they've possibly found the biggest secret to gaining the biggest valuations is just sell some really wholesome food. Everyone that comes in loves the food so much they buy some shares just because they had such a good experience. Or so that might be a story you might conjure up to kind of give this any sense of in terms of its valuation, because I have no idea how this company has a valuation of 100 million, and this is probably one of the big mysteries of the stock market that we will probably never really be able to answer unless maybe someone is arrested for some laundering, or possibly a collapse in the share price one day. But this is a really great example of how highly inflated values in companies can really exist. And this is just it's just a clear, blatant example. But you could also argue, I think it's clear enough that it's not worth it. But if you had people on opposing sides, you would have one side that would be like, oh, this company has unlimited potential. If it opens one more store, it can grow by 100%. So, and that's the thing, if they're raising millions of dollars every year and they open a couple of stores every year, their growth rate is actually quite phenomenal. So this is the thing, when you grow small numbers, you can actually have a really nice growth rate. So hence why not all things are based on growth rates. And also valuations should make sense for the operation that's currently running, and why you shouldn't always base things on potential. Like the person that's against it would just say it's one store, it's not worth it, it's overvalued. I think we come across this a lot because, say, like Tesla, I think that was a big argument of some people going, oh, it's only a car company, it's not worth it. And you have other people that goes, oh, actually it's more than a car company. So if like Hometown Deli all of a sudden decided to specialize in software to sell their deli sandwiches, and I've found out how to just sell sandwiches in the most effective way, does this company all of a sudden, warrant a valuation above 100 million? And that's the big question, like, where do these valuations come from? And if we look at something as stupid as Hometown Deli's valuation, and then we try to put those same reasons that we look at, say, like Tesla into this, it actually can be quite valid in some sense as well, because we can go like, oh, everyone has to eat. If we look at, hey, this company could grow in the future, and it has unlimited potential, then who's to say it couldn't be worth 100 million? So there comes that, two sides of the opposing market forces, and the whole theory of that the market is efficient has truly gone and died here, because no way is this efficient. But that's really, yeah, kind of baffling, but also very, very interesting. And I just thought this was probably the most interesting thing I've come across all day, and I haven't made a video in so long, so I thought, why not just come up and talk about this company, because it kind of fascinates me so much that I think you will find it fascinating. Yeah, feel free to like comment if what your thoughts are on this, or if you got any questions, post below. Until then, good luck investing, everyone, and yeah, I wish you well. Just probably don't buy this company. Like, I don't think I have to say it more than once, but in case, well, I mean, you could always buy it for laughs that you own $100 million Deli, or a share in $100 million Deli. Apart from that, I do not know why you would want to buy into it, but of course, everyone can do what they like.